Hey all, this is Gnosis More. First time playing as the Harlowe, the Gravitar in Borderlands 4. This is now part 4. So the first two parts, by the way, we recorded during a different day and stuff so that is something to remember. Let's let them live with some of these. We'll go up here. State fluidity. Yes. Fluid McTooty. Okay, so that's the Blado. Ooh, they actually got some pinheads with them. Okay. Yeah, we don't see the effect there, because usually there are like buffs that show up. If you do certain things, there are like buffs that very, very clearly shows up. So green, blue, ooh, that's a... That was, yeah, an order. That's an order handgun. So order handgun, a pretty decent one at that. Okay. And then we got this. Some machine gun. That's a decent one. And I actually really like the one that has the under slung like black shotgun specifically and stuff there, because having the extra shotgun effect, because those shotguns often tend to fire faster than the regular shotguns, like a lot of times. Yeah, because everyone that has the chip in it, we learn of course that that all of them timekeeper can see through their eyes at any point basically. Like he can see what they see, but he doesn't always do it like all the time and stuff right? That's the whole thing, right? Or maybe he does, and stuff like always, Okay. And the machine is not active here yet, of course. This machine is not active yet. Just the data pad. The one that already talks about the whole Vault Hunter and stuff that. Zeke or Zonk. It was nothing here. And I'm a full, of course, obviously. Imagine how much, like how insane it would have been if you could, in this, for example, like I remember that there was something that was discussed around. I think it specifically was for Diablo 2, or they were like, there was someone that developed something for that, which basically counted as cheating, because you could see like, okay, like how many legendaries had you actually missed because you refused to kill like certain enemies or whatever, right? And stuff that, Because of course in certain games there were things that were like predetermined already, that as soon as you logged into the game, like all the loot from all the bosses or enemies or whatever was already determined, right? That it didn't. Ooh, that's a decent assault rifle. That's quite similar damage to DPS. Worse in every stat, but regular damage there. It has less. It has less fire rate. It has less of a magazine. It's less accurate. It has a bit slower load speed. But it looks pretty damn cool, and it has a 20% crit damage, which basically means that it has more crit damage than normal. It's always like it's not that old that the crit damage is normally 100% and then it's lower. No, but this one also has 29% crit damage, so you know. Now, of course, if they have been smart and they made it so that the older guns are like the replacement for if they made it a replacement for the thing. Yeah, I do remember finding this nice place because you have books here. So maybe this is where Rush likes to sit actually. Maybe. Because he talks about all book things, and stuff like that. What have we here? Containers? Cool. Something in the grill? Nope. The question is though, right, which Borderlands was it that had that shotgun? Was it Borderlands 3 or was it actually Tiny with like the Wonderlands thing? Because I actually did like Wonderlands even though I didn't finish it and stuff like that, but I want to go back to Wonderlands also. Because I thought the customization in Wonderlands was actually insanely good. Because you basically created your own like D&D piece. And I know that a lot of people like, oh, it's vocally woke and stuff that, right? And sure, like that was a thing in Borderlands 3 also and stuff that, because that was kind of the thing that the vocally wokeness of Borderlands 3 made it so that the story became very, very, like the villains were, huh? I hope mine's a football. Do we score with it? Do we like get something from it? Damn it. Stop. Oh, we can. But you can. Oh, yeah, you can press quick kick again. Oh, well, we can have more balls active. I wonder if there's something you get with this. So you have to stop it basically and stuff that before you can kick it again. Come on. Come on, kick it. Yeah. So it does explode when you kick it and stuff that, right? So, but there's, now there's so many balls. I'm wondering if you can't spawn infinite balls because then you could just crash the game and be like lol 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 lol. Sadly, there's nothing here, of course, inside the pool itself. I mean, technically there's a bunch of explosives here. Run away! Hell yeah. I like the whole bouncy bounce stuff because that's actually after a real thing, right? Because bouncing Bettys that were like in Call of Duty were an actual real thing that happened, if I remember correctly. But I wonder if it was because basically it was like landmines, right? And landmines that actually flew up into the air a bit. Basically, you triggered it and it would actually basically fly up a little bit into the air before it like exploded or whatever or something like that. or it will bounce basically in some sort of weird way, and stuff that I forgot exactly how it was, but yeah, but supposedly that was like a real thing. Oh, so you had someone actually die that's part of the team? Yeah, because that's clearly not one of those robot things. Supposedly, from my understanding, the robots are actually supposed to be clones. Slimes 5 and Dime. Sorry, very close. Maybe that opens up later. But we have already been here in this, yeah, because we did that. But then we need to go over here, of course, where the place down here is. So stuff there, because yeah. That couldn't be open, nope. Is it supposed to be bullets, or is it supposed to be like grain or something like that? I think they are supposed to be actually grain or something. Yeah, they made the water in this be pretty nice, at least the color of it, stuff that, because yeah. We can also go inside here, of course, because here's the Marcus bobblehead. I wonder if that says something specific. Maybe that's a specific language. But I wonder, like, how did like Marcus stuff make it onto this place and stuff that, right? If Marcus is still back on Pandora, because Pandora didn't get the sword, right? But isn't the planet that got moved here then Pandora? Wasn't it Pandora itself that she moved?
Mechanics, ranchers, food growers, or we used to be. Now we're soldiers.
So there's a celestial midheaven, which is the specific sniper, some other one and stuff that. And was this where the wall symbol was? Or was this just another path down? Okay, oh, this is wall symbol, boom. But maybe we just get the SDUs for most of the stuff here. Let's get for the shotgun. Yeah, let's just get all the initial SDUs. So yeah. Because yeah, the fact that they show up on the map and stuff, that makes them easier to find, but usually in the first area I feel like you don't need to get very close for things to show up on the map. But then I feel like also that if there are ones that are inside town, for example, if you remember correctly, in Borderlands 2 specifically, there were like a ton inside of Sanctuary and stuff that like a lot of old hunter symbols was inside Sanctuary. And there were of course certain ones that you couldn't find immediately because, Sanctuary got moved and stuff that, when that sort of thing happens in Borderlands 2 and stuff that, of course, yeah. And the whole Angel character, of course, that were, helping or being forced basically to help Hasemiak, and stuff that was a siren as well, and stuff that, because yeah. Because Borderlands, I mean, it is the story about the sirens, it's what the story is about, so yeah. So do we skip this cutscene now because we watched it last time with the other characters, so yeah,
I bet you worked up an appetite thrashing our dollar to Saw soldiers. But good news, a fresh batch of homemade protein bars just came out of the oven.
Homemade protein bars.
And welcome to the Crimson Resistance, I guess.
Happy to join. The Outbounders started small, with a dream of leaving Kairos. But the idea of freeing the whole planet, very exciting. This secret weapon Saul mentioned has me worried, though. We're barely holding our own out here as it is.
Then we take him down together. Where do we start?
No clue. But if information is king, Saul's spy master wears that crown. He'll have the intel on any secret weapons, and we know exactly where you can find them. But first, head up and see my second in command.
Watching in Kamabaya. So that's Vladov then? Or Jacobs is what it is, watching, yeah. It's a pretty high damage sniper though. In terms of its normal damage that it is here, you can see that the reason why is this like high DPS, it has 87 damage, and this is 102. So this one has 1.6 fire rate, this one has 1.1. But I feel like, does it have to do with the, like why is that still 109 DPS? Because it just fires a little bit faster, like 1.6 isn't that much faster. And this is only 68. Because it's 2.1 versus 2. Now that's reload speed. That's 1.6 and this is 1.1. Alright, because it has 12 bullets before it has to reload. You can fire 12 bullets. With this you can only fire 4 bullets, then it will reach to reload for 2.4 seconds. So that's why. That's why. It has 98% crit damage, so what is the crit damage of this? Yeah, this one only has 55% crit damage. So, you know, that is something, you know. So yeah, so this one is interesting because yeah, it has wide higher crit damage on it and stuff that, you know. And this is where you stick in the parts, of course, that we saw. In case you wanna do this.
Watching you fight made me wish I'd been out there too, risking it all for the dream.
Hey, name's Conway. I'm in charge of scouting, machine repairs, and pretty much whatever else Rush needs. Or forgets to do. As a thank you for saving our asses, we wanted to give you this! It's a Digirunner! It'll help you cover more ground.
Okay, lost loot machine, how much?
He's holed up in the Order Surveillance Center down the road, but this should get you there in no time.
Okay, we had enough room for that? Yeah, we did.
Just scan it with your...
We did have enough room for the wood stuff. Okay, good. Yeah, we're gonna come across more mallow and stuff so we can safely like get away from all the mallow and stuff that we got.
You'll have a new Digirunner to choose from. It'll let you digistruct one practically anywhere.
There's a spike effect.
Good doing business with you.
So Vladov sniper, 3 DPS, Spectric, Bolishop Gruparak, another Vladov, and then a assault 5 shotgun. Both of them have 19 times 6, that's 20 times 6 though, so that's just a better under part. You can easily see which ones you have equipped, so you can easily go and you spam here for a certain amount because you see that whole, like now, for example now there's 6 left because we have 6 slots.
They don't let me cut on folks no more, but what they don't know won't hurt them.
So compare. So that's better. Shield wise, recharge wise, it has 50% fire resist. Yeah, I like the whole spike thing because reflecting melee damage back can be really good, but it has again way too slow. Like that's very dangerous to have the slow recharge. But maybe the B shield had like that, it was very slow to recharge. I forgot exactly what it was because you know, yeah. But the amp damage on the B shield, of course, was the only thing that was insane about it. That the amp damage was absolutely insane. The percentage that it was, you know. Right, then we need to go to. Let's go inside the garage now and deconstruct a Digi runner. Digi runners. Digital runners.
I was expecting like a backpack with a straw to drink water or something. Thank you.
Knew I recognized that little guy. Used to be RJ's, right? Kairos isn't kind to Vault Hunters. But I'm sure you'll do.
Yeah, meaning of course that there have been more Vault Hunters here before. That we weren't the first ones. You know, most likely. Will be something good. Super Turbo Turkey Puncher. 3. Super Turbo Turkey Puncher. Everyone likes some good Super Turbo Turkey Puncher. 3. So right, so we have access to both of those again. How did I have order? Okay. So we have access to Jacobs and order. Order is really good to get early on because even with rank 1 order is a lot of. Now its boost is really bad because the boost, right, that even if your speed on something is low, sometimes it can be good because of the old boost effect, which is why torque is really, really good because torque has pretty decent boost. Actually, torque has the best boost. And stuff like that. Not the best top speed, right, but you know. So yeah. So it equips order over equipping this. But it has like pretty bad handling and stuff that, but yeah, you know. That is something. And paint job. Do we have something new now? So we have the sprint, we have the we have the gloss, and we have the soused and the self-excision. And nothing else, right? Nope. So we can just go with the default one. And we could of course try and go and explore more. Of course, if we go like north from here a little bit. Okay. Right, because there's a pretty.
Everything the Order confiscates is at this surveillance center. Information, weapons, books, anything that gives us.
And you're sure this spy master will be there, right?
He's highly secretive and
Okay, there's a silo here.
stays locked in the basement. That's what scouting logs say, at least.
Wow, you actually read those. And here I thought you stuck to romanticy and nutritional facts on food packaging.
Hey, the only thing tighter than my macros is the unspoken love between Queen Vermilia and her half-angel bodyguard, Ash.
But it's weird, they were like, why doesn't they display the buff from the thing, right? Because it clearly says here, like, yeah, deals to enemies in store. Whenever it explodes, a portion of that store damage is transferred to allies count, because you need to do bonus radiation damage. Yeah, and it lasts for 8 seconds. And then usually, if there is something that gives you a buff, usually it shows up near where the shields and the health is and stuff like that, because that should happen then whenever it like detonates and stuff like that, you know. And it doesn't say specifically like, oh, you have to automatically like it detonate, like you cannot manually detonate. It doesn't say anything about that basically. So we need to go all the way up there. So we'll simply go here first. The meathead. I only need to keep them occupied a bit. Yeah, the bouncy grenades are really good because they can be a bit unpredictable and stuff that which can be really, really dangerous for the enemies. Right, weapons. Yeah, but only white ones. Ammo. There's an explosive thing. Oh, there's a chest here as well. There's gonna be ammo, of course. And we need to go up here still, so we probably go around here. There's probably gonna be a grapple point. And if there's not, then we go up here. But is it, and I got this amount of file and stuff there because I do remember this. I need to go around like this and enemies here. He has a special name, he's called Wathead, but that might just be because he's a, you know, thing. Oh, they did drop a purple over here. And that's a shield. Yes, ooh, it's Turtle! Turtle can be really good because sometimes if you high roll a turtle shield, it can last for a really, really long time sometimes. And we get an order turtle shield. So 647 on the shield. It goes 3.7. It only has 3.2, so it's only worse by 0.2 seconds there, which actually that's pretty quick for a turtle shield. And it's weatherproof. So when the shield is active, which the shield is very strong, it gives you 70% resistance to elemental damage, and that is really good. So this is actually better than something like this. For example, like this gives us 15% resist to a specific element, right? Yeah? But this one gives you resistance to 70% to all basically elemental damage. So it doesn't matter which element you get hit with. And then when equipped, you get a cost 12% shield capacity, but you gain less health. So there are ones that have even more shield capacity. So 647 shield capacity, yeah. And it would take a while, of course, to recharge the entire shield because it is pretty, you know, like even though it's 30 samples per second there, which is pretty slow, you know, it's very, very interesting. So there's the turtle effect, and there's the resistance there and stuff to that. And that's actually pretty cool looking as well, so yeah. So is it going to be more than 647 or is that accurate? Yeah. But you only have 127 health with that. But still, that is absolutely insane though, because as long as the shield remains active, you have 70% resistance, and generally speaking, elemental damage can be a big problem. Generally from very powerful enemies, like the really, really scary badasses or really, really scary enemies, often have some sort of elemental damage, which can make them even more scarier and stuff like that, you know. I'm guessing we do this first. Sometimes I feel like opening certain chests becomes better once we've taken over an area that changes the loot sometimes. So we get another 40 here now. That one will cost 50, of course. So, boom, boom. And then sniper, assault, and shotgun. I am gonna actually spend time actually getting some more of the ammo because that can be very, very helpful and stuff that, yeah.
If you got the crits, Sis got the meds.
Okay, so that's an over one. Vagabond. Vagabond is pretty interesting when the energy shields are full. Again, 20% movement speed. So we can sell. We can sell a shield. And that's pretty much it. That's the only thing we got in there.
Hardly worth living. It's free to look. For now.
That's a grenade. Concussive. Concussive is pretty interesting because it has the whole knockback thing. Right? Nothing really super interesting. Although this one has that whole black part with the whole wood that makes it kind of look like that one sniper rifle and stuff like that. And this has the zip rockets, of course. The zip rockets are actually pretty damn good just because of generally they hit very hard, the zip rockets. Where's this guy alive? Is that a... No, that's not a treasure. But yeah, the good thing, of course, is that this also gives you more fast travels, which is always very good. So that all the silos are very nice to find and stuff that, all the silos are very nice to find. There are, of course, more like safe houses that you can find as well and stuff that, but yeah. There's, of course, the Moxie thing here. Moxie's big encore that lets you replay boss fights. Now, I forgot right if the thing is that when you want to level quickly, I know that there is a certain event that can be in a certain area that gives you a lot of XP action and stuff that, I'm not talking about the event that usually disappears when you're done with it, right? But there is a certain event that spawns, I think there were 2 bosses at the same time somewhere, and it was really hard to survive. I never managed to survive on my character that found it. I forgot if I found it on my main character or not. That looks like that would be something in this tower here. But maybe it ain't. No wild horns. Sorry, Mr. Wildhorn, but I really need your meat. I'm a firing my ball.
Don't love killing, but I do love living.
So I feel like that is going to be that thing, by the way, with the fact that its explosion radius is as insane as it is, feels like it's very good because enemies can be very spread out and still get hit by it, and stuff like that. Rather than the whole entanglement effect beam making you deal more damage and making you spread damage, of course. Also, it's very good. And there was nothing like, ooh, there is a survivalist cache here, and there's, what is this? There's not gushing turret, and a column, okay. Is this one of those?
Got myself into a bit of a thresher pickle, as you see.
Is this? Where are you exactly? Pickle? Shit, pickle, shit, pickle, shit, pickle. Shit, pickle. Shit, pickle. So are you below? Something, is it gonna be like, oh, this is a cave somewhere? That's gonna lead into the thing. Because sometimes it's, sometimes it could be that it's below. It says that it's over here. Correct. Or over here, basically. Right, so because it's not up in the air, of course, obviously. It's basically around here somewhere. So under here? Yeah. An opening. Oh. People here. Well, this is cool. Like, you know,
Lucky find.
because these are usually the absolute best chests I've come across so far, at least, you know, except for after like chests of the bosses and stuff like that, right? That
Don't mind if I do.
because this one has a special animation where you stand in front of them and then you kick them open and then you get points even from it. And then you usually want to go all the way around because and sometimes some things can like almost fall under it and stuff that, you know, sometimes. So that was a lot of stuff. We got some more points. We got 10. SMG, right? And we got an assault rifle. We got a sniper with 70. We got a TDR. We got another order assault rifle, which is 105 DPS, 160 DPS. So if we go with that, it's better reload speed wise, 2.1. And it's worse damage, so it's worse on the fire rate. But then it's equal on everything else that it doesn't say there. So it's used, you know, less amount of sniper though. With 23 fire damage and 43 of the electric. But that one is also one which has faster fire rate. I mean, not super fast or anything, but yeah. When it has that 40% splash radius and like crit 50% damage. So yeah. And that's a pretty weak combination because then if they have shield, you have something very strong. And you can see it's weak against flesh and armor. This is very strong against flesh, very weak against armor and shield. So yeah. We got Theodore grenade. An old grenade. Expansive, yeah, so the grenade radius is larger. That one has a fucking crazy 550. And that one has like a fire effect as well. We got another one, a healthy one. When equipped, yeah, so you also have the ones that are like reverse of a turtle. That it instead has maximum health on it. Which is pretty insane. Not gonna lie, that's pretty insane. No super good stuff yet though. I mean, you always need to be on the lookout there. Really check what it says about something and stuff that, you know, like, because sometimes there can be hidden things to a gun that can make it like, that can make you overlook it and stuff that, you know, but yeah. So yeah, but all of these, the survivalist cache are really, really important because there are usually very, very strong loot in them and stuff that, right? That was a pretty bad one though, I would say. All things considered, I've seen way better survivalist caches than that. Because generally speaking, you're not just gonna get one blue, you're often gonna get several ones. Ooh. Oh wow, that looked like it had a different coloration to it there. Because it looks like it's slightly blue there, but that's just because it's in the water. You know. I wonder if the pearl weapons are in this. Remember right that pearl weapons got introduced by the whole Captain Boot deal. But that one thing, that one DLC in Borderlands 2, I feel is when the pearlescent weapons like got introduced. And I forgot if it was that any weapon could roll into a pearlescent or whatever the fuck it was. Like, it was absolutely crazy because basically if you got certain weapons as pearlescent, like they were like extremely fucking busted, like pearlescent you scaled in a like a different way or whatever, right? So the whole hunt became like, oh, you don't hunt for legendaries, you just hunt for pearlescent, you know, and stuff that, you know. Oh. The oldie box. The oldie Euchre boxer there. Oh, this is very nice, you know, how it's like a red ass barn, you know, and stuff that, you know. Handpart, oh no. Wait. That looks like it will be some sort of target, but no. There's definitely something here. I'm guessing this is an event that happens at some point. That is probably an event spot, I'm guessing, most likely. Because there's no way that this isn't anything that, if they do this specific, like have that there, have these speaker kind of linking things here, have this here, you know, have that, you know, and everything like this is definitely something that happens at some point. Like not right now, obviously, but you know. Okay. And that's a well, kind of dead end for now, but let's continue on. Because it would definitely probably be a way to. That looks like. Now that wouldn't really be a bus. Because I'm trying to figure out the vehicles that are supposed to be. The fact that, you know, like a lot of these are like at stuff that clearly is supposed to be like a bus or something like that, you know. Something, you know. So do we just go into the jungle? Welcome to the jungle. There's a lot of jungle here, and there's an actual one of these. Anything good? No. That's a torque though. So you can if I shoot sticky Garriots. And the crazy thing is there is a certain style of torque thing that you can get that basically like explodes when you reload. And like it's very, very easy that you overfire with something and that you super used overkill something. But with that, like you can do a ton of fucking damage, especially if it happens to roll on an assault rifle, then you can fire like a shit ton of shots into something and you can just make things explode. This is one of those things where you just there's something we're gonna have to grab or destroy in order to get into. This is where her hideout is. This is where you go later on. This is where her hideout is. Person that was one of the first chosen ones from the Timekeeper, one of his first chosen ones. They made like immortal and stuff like that, you know. But taking it, the question I wonder if the immortality means that it's just that they can respawn and stuff. That if that is the thing, how you know their immortality works, you know. It's the question, you know. Yeah. You cannot do anything with that right now, of course, because it's part of the story. Okay. That's a protein-rich foxhole. A mangler. Protein-rich. Yeah. So that's our one as power booster. But yeah, but all the things that has the amp effect, by the way, often says something with the amp on it and you know other things. There's a bubble head there. That's nice. But we're going to get a lot of points into that, of course, and this, of course, getting increased radiation damage is going to be really good. Because, yeah. And often write that with certain characters, depending on what changes with your build or like what they give you. Now, one thing I kind of wish though is that the slots here, because this was something it did in Borderlands 2, if I remember correctly, that it showed up at what level you gain the slots. I know that this is level 30, I forgot when it was that you gained the other two slots. I know that you gained this before you gained this, I'm pretty certain. Because this is, of course, this is where you have the brand thing and stuff like that. So you can, for example, get a bonus when you're using like a specific like brand of guns and stuff like that, you know. But it also usually also affects ordnances as well, not just the guns and stuff like that as well. But not always though. Not always. Sometimes it is very specific with what it says that it changes, you know. But then this place.
And a river joint
Okay. Okay. Can you do that? Run away and then boom here. Boom there. There's a badass rat-a-tat. That's room turret. They don't get hit by the fucking rockets, which we used to get hit by.
Let's get energized.
Okay. Yeah, kill enemies with radiation damage. Kicked by the elephant's foot. Okay. Yoink, yoink, and yoink. Because I'm hoping that he's gonna try and dodge that, yeah. Now he's almost dead. Now he fell over again, and now he's just easy pickings. Yeah, level 8 badass. Only gave us 1 green. Is that an ordinance? Nope. Sometimes if there is something really big that drops, it can be an ordinance. Ooh, torque! Hell yeah, 142 shotgun! Yeah, and this, for example, fires 10 projectiles and 90 damage. But this one fires 4 projectiles and is 40 damage. And slower fire rate, but used by a little bit slower reload. But yeah, but then it can fire way more.
Predictable as all hell.
Looking back, Toxic, yeah, this is one of the sweet designs also on the Torque. It has there's a talk part, of course, the Kigari adds the explosion on reload or when switching modes, which increases the explosion damage by 4% each. It has fucking 168 splash radius and shot cost is 2 per shot. So, you know, there is some things we read through ammo a lot faster with this. So I'm guessing there's probably a good reason to go here. I'm guessing there's gonna be actual loot chest here or something. Because this was definitely pretty well guarded. This has probably a very high chance to be something. Ooh. Okay, State Bori, Painter, and Ripid Truncheon. Ooh! That might be worth using over that, because that's, yeah. That's 160 DPS, this is 99 DPS though. Man, it's just that, yeah, we're gonna use Torque. Because I feel like if you use a lot of Torque, then that I think increases your chances to get Torque. Once you can get the thing. So Torque Impact, Torque Sticky, and this is the one with the red design again. So that not all the ones are. Oh, it looks like a Gatling. That's actually pretty cool. Does some really fucking kick ass like fucking Torque designs. Fucking Torque, man. I mean, I always like the Torque stuff and stuff that, and that's and it's more than just the whole Harlowe thing and stuff that, which is, you know, just, you know, thought also that was the Herald already in Borderlands 1, or wasn't it until Borderlands 2 had the Herald and stuff like that? Yeah. And it's more used in the whole like explosive thing, because usually the fact that they usually tend to fire pretty slow also means that you want its ammunition super fast. But sometimes, of course, they have always had the whole effect of being able to like consume a lot more black ammunition and stuff like that, you know. So that's the kind of best bet. So can we go further then? In a certain direction? Yeah, it's insane that it hit the guy like further away there, and then it hit the guy, the ones that were like closer to us there. Yes, we can go further in. We can go really far in here. So it definitely feels like there's going to be something here, basically, almost. Right, and this is not one that automatically fires or whatever, right? That you cannot just hold down the button. You have to actually hit it several times. It's a Court Master. So I don't know exactly what that specific one means. Because usually they mean certain things. Depending on what they have, like what their name is. Oh, this guy dropped a lot of stuff. That was the thing though. So that's an ordnance. That's the first real ordnance though. I mean, aside from a grenade of course. That one has an artillery payload though, this one. But yeah, there's a lot of one heavy ordnance, so that's one of those minigun-like things. There's a new grenade, but it is fire damage, sadly. Shield, or the shield spike effect, or the amp time, but it has very low healing. So instead of 101 there, yeah, it has 42. But it heals you for 42 also over 8 seconds. And it has 16 seconds, so you can use it pretty often. And has 2 charges as well, which is like it's really good when it has additional charges. But yeah, so unused grants increase damage of the next shot by 200%. So you can use it, you can deal 200% more damage. So usually it seems, yeah, that seems to be true. That every single time I feel like I found amped on a Steam pack, it has always been the order. So I don't know if that's always going to be the case, that amps can only be ordered, at least so in terms of the Steam packs.
That could take that breath from your very lungs, should he wish to.
How much song can we record? Good. I really want to try and finish this place up though. Okay, the question is, I need to check this here. Yeah, that's one of those propaganda speakers. The propaganda speakers are actually very good because it will cause like a lot of enemies to spawn. But I had a bug happening at one of the propaganda locations, like fairly early on. My main character, I think it was, because basically I encountered one of the propaganda towers, and then it would keep resetting even when I reached like 85% and stuff like that. And I thought that, oh, if I go outside the area, because there's basically very clearly a zone that spawns like a green thing that spawns around you or whatever, right? Or to indicate how big the defense zone is. And you're not allowed to go outside of that zone or whatever, you know. Let's go with this instead. There is a sniper which is a bit annoying somewhere. That's a badass. So we could do a lot of damage now we have the amp effect, yeah. Let's do a bunch of grenades. That's a meathead though. He's doing a lot of damage to us. We're running away. Punch. Alright, and jump up here. And now we fire this, boom, immediately into the ground. I think we can revive stuff with that, and then we hit with this again, boom. Weapon slot unlocked, nice, very nice. Another weapon slot, so that's a sniper, shotgun, assault rifle, so we could go with a submachine gun or a pistol. So submachine gun-esque. Yeah, we probably need to go with a submachine gun because shotgun, assault rifle, sniper rifle. So the blood of is better. So yeah, that's the two order black things. Yeah, that's the best submachine gun we could go with. And now, wait. So did we have any smaller ones left? So that is 23 damage and 43 damage, and both of them are 20% chance. Both of them is still 20% chance. Okay, so that doesn't change that chance. Right, because this is because it's just damage, it's not percentage chance or anything, but that just increases the damage. But it is weird then that why doesn't it say on the weapon there the damage here? Like why does that not update? Because it's part of the character, right? Yeah, I did 4% more. 4% more corrosive, cryo, incendiary, shock, and radiation. Yeah. That's what it does. Yeah, so this is. But it's still like very, very good and stuff there, so that's 8% now. It's gonna be 12%, then of course 16%, and then finally 20%.
Do not allow the selfishness of others to harm you and your loved ones. Come forth,
Right, this actually.
and you will reap the
Alright, you hold in triangle and then you go like this. For example, you can just hold it in if you immediately want to get to something. And then it's full out and then it's 6 rockets.
rule forever. East without fall. We will never truly understand. Yet we should always strive. Obedience leads us closer to his perfection.
And I like how the propaganda also continues on even after you have like killed the boss and stuff that, you know. Okay, so that one is open now finally. Purple, ooh. That was a new effect. I don't think I've seen that effect before there on that purple. Because it was. So that's pretty decent. That's insane because that's not a turtle shield. That's fucking 500 on the armor. It is slower to be charged, but it gives us 42 per second. Yeah, when shield is empty, grant 20% gun handling and 10% movement speed. And shield booster when damage, 50% chance to spawn a shield booster that freezes up to 80% shield. Yeah, that's. This resistance here is just so damn good. The 70% resist, but that of course But yeah, that also allows us to run away. This is empty. TD orb.